Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 4 is Allan Murray with a speech entitled A New Direction. A New Direction, Allan Murray.
Did this happen to you? You were living life. And life was good, or life was average. Or perhaps life wasn't all that good. And then along came something. It could have been a situation, an opportunity, an accident, an incident, a person, but something happened. And from then on, your life took on a new direction. Madam Contest Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, that's what happened to me also. I'd spent 5 years in my chosen career as a police officer in Victoria. It wasn't long, long enough to see what some human beings will do to other human beings. And then through a set of completely bizarre circumstances, I became involved in network marketing. Now, one of the things that started to happen was I started to see and meet and listen to people the like of which I've never seen or heard before. I was in a room one night when a chap stood and explained how a chicken hatches out of an egg. And he said, the egg is the barrier, the chicken has got a soft beak, its body and a couple of scrawny little claws. But what it does, it just works at it and works at it and works, and it cracks the egg. And then it picks and it pecks and it pokes with that little beak and whatever it's got and knocks out a little piece of the shell and then another piece until it's big enough for it to get out. But it doesn't get out. Because it can't. It's almost dead. That's how much effort was involved in getting to the point of escape. The same bloke explained that as a child he had polio. He couldn't move his legs. And his dad got a reputation as being cruel. Because back then, when polio was rife, you would take your child to wherever he needed to be or take things to the child. But not his dad. His approach was this: if my son wants it bad enough, he'll find a way to get it. And he did. They put him in the lounge room in the middle, and the things that he would like, they put all over the place. But he'd found out that there were cracks between the boards in the lounge, and with his fingernails, he got into them and drew himself towards the things that he wanted. But you see, if we had helped that chicken, we go, oh, you poor chicken, and taken away part of the egg, he'd be dead. And the reason is because he wouldn't have developed the strength that it took, that after he was able to regroup, then he could live in the outside world. What impressed me most was that this man said, I'm married, I've got business in various parts of the world, I'm happy with my life, but most of all, you saw me walk in here tonight. That affected my thinking. I was in another room, another time, and this man came in, he was a very successful man, wealthy man. And he said, you know, people tell me that I'm burning the candle at both ends. And he said, I don't know if I am or if I'm not. But I do know one thing. I won't get to the end of my life and find I got this much candle and I never used it. It was my good fortune to be at a table with another man having a cup of coffee and a conversation. And he said to me at one stage, he said, Allan, any day of the week, I'd rather see you with an insincere smile on your face than a sincere frown. And I'll tell you something else. So would the rest of the world. You see, that affected my thinking. And it affected the way I've attempted to live my life over the last 40 years. All those things added up. Because there came a point where my life took on a new direction. And then, so much of it all came together just months ago. I was reading a book, and I read this particular paragraph, and at the end of it, it was as if all the print had just turned to very light grey, leaving just 9 words in bold black. And they read, "How can you tell an eagle not to fly?" And I suddenly understood. All the things that had gone through my mind in that time got to this point. Who is it that is going to tell me how to live my life differently than what I do? Because you see, I know how I want to live my life. That's how I live it, and I want to. Because a long time ago, there was a little new direction that headed me off, and I've been on that ever since. I heard another man say this. He said, "Where you will be 10 years from now, for the most part, will revolve about 2 things. 1, the books you read. 2, the people you associate with." Now, you've probably figured out that my example of the eagle doesn't apply to me, because I'm 68, I'm married, I've got 5 kids, 3 grandkids, I drive buses on average 6 days a week. But between listening to what that man said, everything has worked out just fine. Because you see, tonight, I'm in this room with you. And I want to be with you and people just like you. And the reason that I do is simply this. I know that what this man said was true. And in 10 years' time, I want to be able to say, I kept on track. I spent time with people who look at the past for what it is, describe it in one word, gone. Who look at today as being the major event. Because all that's left after today is whatever tomorrows you've got. And you can't even count them. So that in 10 years' time, I'll look back and say, thank you for helping me maintain my new direction. And the